I don't want to say the final one, just say tail testing exercises. How many of you go to put a tail bandage on? The minute you lift the tail, the horse clamps really tightly and moves away from you. Quite a common thing I come across. And a lot of people actually forget the importance of the tail because you think, oh, it's just to get the flies out the way. The tail is an extension of the horse's spine. Okay, so just a reminder, the horse's spine starts up here from the cervical, between the shoulders, then you have the thoracics, the lumbars, the sacrum, and then the coccygeal muscles. Horses that carry their tail to one side or the other, if they've not had damage to the actual vertebra in the tail, which is not uncommon, and if they hold their tail to one side, that to me indicates there's potentially something going on in the spine. This is an important indicator of how your horse is moving behind. A little secret fun fact as well, in my opinion, through assessing horses over the years, horses when they're being ridden, if their tail isn't moving nicely, like a nice kind of movement right to left, if they hold themselves to one side more on one rein than the other, that again says to me that there is something going on in the horse's spine because the weight of the rider and the weight of the saddle compressing the spine is causing the tail to move to one side. Fun fact. So let's move on to the testing exercises. The first one is just to comfortably stand behind your horse, let them know you're there. Just lift up the tail. Can you lift it up? How far can you lift it up without your horse moving or clamping? If this is as far as you can get, note this down and leave it at that. And every day, see if you can just get a little bit further in lifting the tail up. If your horse is very resistant with you doing this, speak to your professional and get some advice. Moving on from this exercise of lifting the tail up, we're then going to do some tail mobilizations. So I'm supporting the tail itself here. I'm going to very gently, with my hands, 3 circles to one direction. And every time I make my circle, so the second and third circle is getting bigger and bigger. It's a great way of stimulating the muscles of the hindquarters as well. So let's go the opposite direction. Small, medium, and large. Really good. Once you've done those and your horse is comfortable and you're happy, I'd like to move on to a pelvic activation exercise. I'm just gonna Have you got your ear? Are you okay? I'll just do that one again. You all right, mate? He was like, should I panic? Am I allowed to panic? You're okay. You're okay. Moving on to a pelvic exercise using the tail. So one hand is going to go on the outside of the tail. Make sure you're quite close to your horse, and I'd like you to very gently, you're just going to pull the tail and the hindquarter towards you, hold, release slowly. Now if you can come and see the muscles around the stifle here, the technical term is the cranial femoral muscles, which help your horse with flexion. If you can watch how they are contracting, so pull, it's just, you're okay. Pull, hold, release. Pull, hold, release. One more time, pull, hold, release. Before work, I would do these 3 to 5 times on both sides. Let's see the other side. So on this side, my right hand is going to go right to the top of the tail. I'm going to clamp the tail quite comfortably. My eyes are watching the muscles around this area of the horse's hind leg. I'm going to pull, hold, I'm going to release. I'm going to pull, hold, I'm going to release. If you're feeling and seeing no reaction, just apply a little bit more pressure. There it is. What I'd rather you did is have less pressure in the beginning and then increase the pressure if you get no reaction. But same thing again, if your horse is showing you signs of moving away, lifting a leg, visibly saying with their body, their behavior, I don't want that, please don't force your horse to do it and speak to your professional.